Endeavor. Depending on how far you are in the series, he may be your favorite character in My Hero Academia or your least favorite. He's handled in such an intriguing and unique way that I think the nuance of his story deserves some heavy glazing. There's a reason he's constantly brought up as one of the best characters in modern shonen, and I'd like to dive into a few of the reasons why, using some of his words to do so. Enji Todoroki, aka Endeavor, was a man whose entire life was shaped by two things: his goal of becoming the #1 hero and being stubborn as hell. That's something you'd need to achieve the heights of being #1, and also something you probably don't want to be if you can't succeed. I'll let you guess which route this goes. When we're introduced to him, we learn exactly who he is in no time at all, from his demeanor to his inferiority complex to his goals to the fact that he's an abuser. We understand him pretty quickly, or at least we think we do. In a show that has serial killers, evil scientists, and a self-proclaimed demon lord, I don't think anyone was ever more hated by viewers than the #2 hero himself, except Mineta, and that plays into human nature. Objectively, Endeavor is not the worst character in the series, but what he did is smaller in scale and more personal, so we relate to it a lot more. It's hard to comprehend someone destroying a city or conquering a planet. It's a lot easier to imagine an abusive father. And that's exactly what he is. His endeavor to become the #1 hero and failure to achieve it is the core of his story. Imagine working your ass off your entire life for a singular goal, to get so close and fail. What would you do? But no one with such a flawed view, someone who believes heroism is defined by strength, could ever be the best. Because he's a headstrong, obsessed man with a shattered purpose, he pivots to what he views as the next best thing. If he can't surpass All Might, he'll create someone who can. Time to live vicariously through the kids. So he selects a wife with a quirk that would allow him to breed the perfect successors. From here, everyone in his family suffers from his abuse, the most obvious examples being his wife Rei and his son Shoto, who both, get those hands. But there's more to it. Shoto was his 4th child, Toya was his first, and he suffered in another way. From birth, he was told he was going to be the greatest hero ever. That was his sole purpose in life. Except, his fire powers were too strong for his body, so that wasn't an option. Instead of consoling his son or showing that his safety was the higher priority, Endeavor essentially bans him from pursuing the purpose all his worth was built around. I never could figure it out, but I'm sure the hair color means something. Endeavor being the only one with all red hair except Toya, whose red fades to gray, definitely means something. Maybe one of you knows. When Shoto is born, a child with both fire and ice like Endeavor wanted, Toya is cast aside. He's so desperate for his father's approval that he pushes himself too far and gets killed. I love how honest the story is about this. Endeavor put his wife in the hospital. His neglect killed Toya. Shoto hates him so much he refuses to use his fire powers. He neglected his son Natsu and tore his family apart, which broke his daughter's heart. He did this of his own accord. He wasn't brainwashed, he wasn't traumatized, there were no excuses, it's all on him. Once we've been introduced to the fact that he's an abuser, every time he's on screen, we only see him through that lens. But look at things objectively. In Hosu, he has an opportunity to validate Stain's concerns about false heroes by acting like one, and doesn't. He spends the entire time saving civilians with minimal fanfare. He goes to assist in the Bakugo retrieval arc. Sure, he's grumpy, but something we must acknowledge here is that even though it comes from a place of ego, Endeavor has a relentless commitment to heroism, and that never wavers. When All Might retires, Endeavor is given the one thing he's always desired, the #1 spot. You'd expect him to let his ego get out of control or hit up a Diddy party. Instead, he contemplates the pressure that title brings. Everything he has done is with the singular focus of becoming the strongest. If not him, then his kid. But that's not what made All Might special, and that's starting to dawn on him. He finally has everything he ever wanted, but what did it cost him in the process? He has no one to share this victory with. Hell, he didn't even earn it. He was the backup choice. To truly become the best, Endeavor has to understand it's about more than strength, it's about becoming a symbol, someone to inspire others. His pursuit of strength at all costs hasn't inspired anyone. Honestly, it's hurt everyone close to him. The rankings may say he's number 1, but until he confronts this, he'll never be worthy of it. It's the fight with the high-end Nomu that changes everything. His goals, his legacy, our minds, all of it. I brought this up in my Bakugo video, and it fits Endeavor too. Their redemptions are mostly handled through subtlety. Throughout the story, he's always been stubborn. He maintains an inferiority complex and his hot temper. These things may lessen to a degree, but they are all still there. It's this dynamic where he feels like a completely different person, while at his core, he's largely the same guy. We're simply reframing our perspective of him based on more information. One quick example, he really did love his wife. She wasn't simply a tool for eugenics. She only mentioned her favorite flower once, and yet those are the ones he sends her. What makes the fight with the high-end special isn't only that it's badass, it's the layers to it. It's literally said there's no symbol and no hope. They're right, All Might is gone and Endeavor hasn't created that legacy yet. But he's aware that he needs to. It's why all he said about becoming number 1 was watch me. This fight is his start. Natsu from Fairy Tail straight up tells us he's risking his life for our sake. This isn't fluff, dude's body is in shambles and he might have just lost an eye. But he keeps getting back up and fighting through it, which is essentially a metaphor for what he's going to have to do for the rest of his life. There's a moment where Endeavor says, "I'm nothing like you" to the Nomu, but he's in denial. As that fight continues, he slowly realizes he's essentially fighting himself. Endeavor wanted strength and bioengineered his son to be the strongest hero possible. The High End is a bioengineered freak obsessed with strength. They are the same and he sees it now. He admits, "You're me from the past or even another future." When he says, "be at rest" before delivering the final blow, he's not talking to the Nomu, he's talking to himself. The old version of him is dead, and this version is moving forward. This victory makes him a symbol of a new beginning, and he raises his hand high like All Might. But also, he's carving his own legacy, which is why he raises the other arm. It's subtle, but well written. After this, we see him try to mend his relationship with his family, and they aren't really having it. He fears Natsu will never talk to him again, so he's relieved to hear his son say, "I'll never forgive you." Endeavor's fine with that. He's not seeking forgiveness, he's seeking atonement. He's been having this dream lately of his family bonding, but he's never in that dream. Fuyumi has been trying to hold the family together, so the least he can do is grant her wish, by giving everyone a place to live separate from him. Endeavor made a ton of mistakes in his life. Actions have consequences. It turns out, Toya is alive and has become the villain Dabi. He says it best, "I was bred from my father's selfish dream, and the past never dies." His history as an abuser is made public, destroying his reputation as a hero, right when he's reached the top and started crafting a legacy. Which is why I love that he never asks for forgiveness. He acknowledges he doesn't deserve it. The only way he can make amends is through action. Remember what he said when he was named number 1? "Just watch me"? That's what this means. And maybe no matter what he does, it'll never be enough. It's going to be difficult, it's going to be painful, and it's never going to end. But it says a ton about him that he does it anyway. The story doesn't give him an easy out either. All for One taunts him about saving his son and molding him into Dabi. This sets Endeavor off. He initially blames All for One for his mistakes, but then points that blame inward. And this is important in determining what kind of hero he wants to be. He can deflect his failures onto others, or he can own them, and he chooses the latter. He failed Toya before anyone else did. Then to protect others from All for One, he loses an arm in the process and keeps fighting. This is his version of heroism now. Of course, this all culminates with one final confrontation with his son. Dabi's pushed himself to where his body is going to explode. Endeavor tries to create distance between them and bystanders, but all Dabi keeps yelling is, "Look at me." While Endeavor responds, "I won't watch you die." He still can't look at his son, even now. In this intense moment, Dabi shows the ability to use ice, and this is when it all clicks. Toya's flames were greater than Enji's, and he has his mother's ice powers. He was everything Endeavor wanted all along, and he was still cast aside. Endeavor made a big deal about his atonement, meanwhile his biggest failure had been watching him the whole time without Endeavor even noticing. It's time for him to finally pay attention. "I've got you. I won't let you die alone, son." It's not just him. Rei arrives, then Natsu and Fuyumi. Finally, everyone is watching Toya. Endeavor begs his son to kill him, but to spare the others. Before he passes, Toya vents his frustrations, and all Endeavor can do is hug him, apologize, and tell him to keep going. This is the pinnacle of his failures, and he has to suffer through it, even if he's remorseful for it all. Which is why it's fitting that he's robbed of a heroic ending. He could have died with his son saving the day and been remembered fondly for it. Instead, someone who truly embodies a hero, Shoto, is the one who contains the blast, and Endeavor has to keep living through his mistakes to keep atoning. It's beautiful writing. Endeavor is a fascinating character because, like many in My Hero Academia, he challenges what being a hero is. All sorts of different people with different mindsets want to become heroes and then have the flaws of their beliefs exposed. Endeavor is simultaneously a good hero and a bad person, one who is forced to confront that and grow from it. It's one of the coolest stories out there. Now subscribe or die.